r/AskReddit. What is normal in the US that is not normal elsewhere? Millimeters DDYYYY. As a Linux administrator, this hurts my brain. Why millimeters DD lets you sort alphabetically and have log files sorted neatly by time. Although ironically they say 4th of July on Independence Day. DD. Millimeters YYYY here. Nice, this shirt is on sale for $19.99. But I only have a 20, so I don't have enough. Damn. Ha. My state doesn't have sales tax. Just don't look at our property taxes. I forgot about sales tax not being included in the price in the US. I was about to say, what do you mean you don't have enough? Canada checking in here. We do the same stupid thing and sales tax in many provinces adds 15% to the sticker price. Advertising medicine. Buy product X. It will cure your cancer better than product Y. And the second half of the advert is a disclaimer which boils down to may cause death. Don't forget the happy jingle and people dancing in a field. It's the only way people will switch to product X. Do not take if you are allergic. Well, how am I supposed to know if I'm allergic or not? Having world competitions in sports when no other countries participate. We even have a universe competition. Canada does, checkmate. The World Series? Going bankrupt as a result of medical bills. Even if you have health insurance. Ranch it up, pretendo. God bless America. This might be everywhere, but pizza arrives faster than the police. They arrive the second payment completed, so you can't go Dutch. I disagree entirely. The police arrive within 10 minutes, or faster if you're in the suburbs. Anytime I or anyone I know had to call them. This is from California to Washington to Texas to New York. I have to say it varied a lot in my experience. Car crash without anyone fleeing or harmed? Took ages. Car crash with a drunk suspect fleeing. Very fast. Which wasn't really necessary because that dude lost his license plate. Going back to work within a few weeks of having a baby. I look at all the other developed nations that give 6+ months paid for both mom and dad to be with their baby. And here we have 12 weeks unpaid, or you might be lucky enough to work for a company that has parental leave, but nothing is legally required outside 12 weeks unpaid. And typically the dad doesn't get shit from employer. I worked with a girl that had 3 pregnancies bartending in a club. Worked all the way through, and came back 2-3 days after the births. That scared of losing her job. That sucks. Just up north in Canada we have 16 weeks for the mom, 5 weeks for the dad and 32 weeks parental, shrivel between parents. I really don't understand why the US does not have anything similar. Free refills. Used to have it in Australia. Getting free refills in the US felt so illegal. Some places in Europe have it. As far as I know there's a single Five Guys in the Netherlands and they have it, but it was definitely weird. Vacation days. I was watching an episode of The Simpsons and a character asked for 3 weeks paid vacation, the joke being that it was an overly generous amount. In the UK specifically, although most of Europe is similar or even more generous, the absolute minimum is 22 days plus bank holidays, called public holidays in most countries, and accounts for an extra 9 days in the UK, per year. Many companies offer more. I get 28. I have friends who work in companies that have unlimited vacation days. Basically the assumption is that as long as you meet your customer requirements, feel free to take time off. The US presents this image of family being the most important thing in your life except when it gets in the way of work. Lol, my job adds on roughly 1 vacation hour and half an hour of personal time off per week if you work 40 hours a week. It took me roughly 6 months for me to take a single week of paid vacation. This was 2-3 months ago. Last I checked about a week ago I had about 12 hours saved up, since then working 40 hours consistently. I love being in the prime of my life and destroying my body working in retail because it's a secure position. I'm going to the pharmacy. Can you get some beer while you're there? That's not too weird, at least from my point of view. In Japan, we can buy liquor at the pharmacy. Everything from baby milk to 4L of whiskey for under $50. Most pharmacies are in grocery stores, or at least around here. I have never seen a standalone pharmacy. People smiling and having fun, while some lady lists off horrifying side effects. Gender reveal parties. Even without the burnings. Ah. Don't worry, I just witnessed one in Naples, in Italy. When the fuck did this become a thing anyway? Sugar is in almost everything, like it's a pain to find a roast, savory food, without sugar, or bread that doesn't taste like cake. Yes. The bread in Europe is so much better. Odd enough, so is the yogurt. Way less sugar. Yeah, my biggest peeve whenever I visit the US, everything is so sweet. Ugh. Just the type of crap in all Western foods is meant to be as addictive and cheap as possible. I spent a year in Japan and lost so much weight from eating the local foods. Smaller portion sizes. No sugar in anything. Low-fat meats. Almost nothing was processed, etc. Getting bankrupted because of an illness. For-profit prisons. Compulsory tipping. Congrats on your new baby. Now get back to work, peasant. I work in fintech. When my wife delivers our baby later this year, I will get 11 weeks paid at 100%. My wife works at a very prestigious hospital in IT. She will get 2 weeks fully paid. It's fucking bonkers. Insurance companies, not doctors, dictating what medical treatment is best for a patient. My insurance decided it wasn't going to pay for a medicine that was treating my condition very successfully. I've now tried 5 they approve and none work as well. And be difficult to switch insurance company. Being obligated to tip your servers. In Europe at least, servers are paid regularly and they don't rely on tips for their earnings. You tip if you feel like it and if you like the service. In USA, as far as I know, someone correct me if I'm wrong, servers are paid minimum wage and rely on tips to make a living, so there is an obligation to tip them a certain % of your bill. In fact, in a lot of places servers are paid less than minimum wage, with the stipulation that if tips don't add up to at least minimum wage, their employer makes up the difference. The hourly of an American server is $2.13. They have to pay a percentage of their food sales to their bussers and food runners, typically 5%. Then they tip out the bar too, anywhere from 3-5% of alcohol sales. Bar tips out barback, busser, and food runner. So if you sit down and don't tip, you actually cost your server bartender financially. It's a shitty system, I agree. Most people are fine with it though. Thirstbuster-style massive cups of soda filled to the brim with ice, and then the interstitial space between the ice filled with soda. We're talking about 64 flows plus in freedom units, or 1893 milliliters in metric. High percentage of individual car ownership due to lack of public transport infrastructure. In some areas, friendly small talk with total strangers. Two-party political system. Low percentage of the population that are polyglots. I'm American and I don't understand why cups are so small everywhere else. I'm personally not a soda drinker, but I'm someone who drinks a lot. Usually water, occasionally iced tea, coffee or juice. Once you put a little ice in a 12 ounces cup, that's like 2 sips. It's so much more convenient to have a much larger cup that will last a while. Though I do agree that drinking that amount of soda is ill-advised. Getting a $500,000 hospital bill since your health insurance refuses to pay it. In the rest of the world, even in Latin American countries, people are covered by health insurance. My son's birth cost $250,000. That was after the insurance company negotiated $100,000 off of the total with the hospital. I could have bought my house twice with that sum. Having a multitude of police law enforcement agencies. There are multiple federal agencies. Each state has their own police force, followed by each county, municipalities, and even institutions like universities, hospitals, and even amusement parks. Here in Italy we have 3 different forces, if I am not mistaken, plus private ones for hire. Hospitals bills. Weird how I never realized people could get a bill to pay for healthcare. I don't know, I just figured people paid, but hadn't really thought about there being an actual printed bill. Do Americans realize how fucking bizarre this is, or do they think we all whip out the credit card every time we visit the hospital? Grossly massive portion sizes. I love this only because I'm a small petite woman and I get 2 meals for the price of 1. I love leftovers. I have always found food servings to be just about spot on, thank you. Although, I am a 6'3" male. All the smaller people than me probably don't need to be eating that much. Right after a horrible injury, waiting for the ambulance, and freaking out because I'd just lost my health insurance 2 days prior, and not at the fact that my foot was pointing the wrong way and flopping around. When I drove Uber Lyft, I drove 2 different people to the ER. Better response time and much cheaper. Just don't pay. Plenty of people don't. Depending on how much you were making, if you talk to the hospital's billing department, they would be legally required to forgive your medical bills, if it's registered as a non-profit hospital. Cheerleaders. That's just weird. How else would we sexualize our teenagers? Never heard of a pep rally here. either. That first one in Canada was a weird experience. I think y'all are getting your idea of cheer from movies. In real life it's team gymnastics, it's incredibly athletic and not as sexual as y'all seem to think it is. This is coming from Texas. My brother was in a regional championship football team, so I've seen a lot of cheerleading, both game and competition. Not being able to tell if that loud bang was a gunshot or a firework. To be fair, the same can be said for hiking just outside Liverpool. If you live outside of a city, it is perfectly legal to shoot in your backyard so long as you are being safe about it. I don't get concerned when I hear gunshots unless I'm downtown somewhere. All of June and past couple days of July has been fun in my neighborhood. Gunshot is more of a pop than a bang.